And in this video, we're reacting to he darkened his skin to live as a black man in 1959. All I can tell you is that in that here, he's crazy. Cause I know back then segregation was a thing, and yeah, to be walking around as a white man amongst these black people, they got some rage to them. Let's get into the video.
She been comment me.
A white man named John Howard Griffin did something most people couldn't imagine. He took a pill, sat under a UV lamp for hours a day, and then stepped into the deep south as a black man.
Oh, you're crazy.
This isn't science fiction. This was real life. And what he experienced in those 6 weeks shook him and the country to its core. This is the story of Black Like Me, the daring experiment that exposed the raw nerve ever could. Welcome to Aggressive Intelligence. John Howard Griffin was born in 1920 in Dallas, Texas. By the late 1950s, he was already an established journalist and novelist. A devout Catholic and a man of deep moral convictions, Griffin had one burning question. What would it be like to live as a black man in the segregated South? Not to write about black people, but to be one of them. To walk in their shoes, to eat where they ate or couldn't eat. To ride in the back of the bus, to feel the heat of the hate stare. He wasn't motivated by a book deal or fame. He wanted to understand the brutality of racism not from a distance, but from the inside.
And no matter what his motives are for something like this, you gotta applaud somebody. I appreciate somebody that can say, I want to see how it feels to put my feet in their shoes and to see if it actually feels how it looks, or if they just over exaggerate. It could be with anything. That takes some real what's the word? I don't know the word, but you gotta applaud that though.
And he was willing to risk everything to do it.
Ooh. Hey, if y'all don't want to see ads, subscribe. I mean, I'm not paying for YouTube. I'm an OG in the game. I say it every time.
Griffin traveled to New Orleans. There, under the supervision of a sympathetic dermatologist, he began taking a drug called methoxyline, used to treat vitiligo. Combined with long hours under ultraviolet lamps, it darkened his skin to the point where he could pass as a light-skinned black man.
Damn.
He also used topical stains, shaved his head, and adopted the clothing and mannerisms of black working-class men of the time.
Actual
no masks,
photo.
No prosthetics.
Wait a second. Where the fuck did that hair come from? You can't just glue that on somebody's head. You can't glue that. That gotta be like a perm, and then you cut it low. His face not even set up like a light skin. It's not. Right here is not black. This is not black right here. This right here especially is not black. The only black person I know that had a nose like this is either Scottie Pippen or the nigga who created peanut butter. Those are the only two people that I've seen with that. He don't even got a lineup. Come on, bro.
Just a man stepping into a new skin and a terrifying reality. He wrote in his journal, I became two men, the observing one and the one who panicked, who felt the inescapable apprehension of being a black man in the South. He carried a notebook. He never changed his name. He never claimed to be someone else. He simply walked into America with a darker complexion. What happened next wasn't just an experiment. It was a psychological and spiritual war zone. Griffin journeyed through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina, all within a matter of weeks. Immediately, he was thrown into the fire. He was denied access to restrooms, restaurants, water fountains, and lodging. Even when he had money, he couldn't buy food in many establishments.
Yep.
One night, exhausted and dehydrated, he nearly collapsed trying to find a colored-only bathroom. I could not believe, he wrote, how swiftly I was catapulted into a world where simple needs became unsolvable puzzles. He tried to get work, any kind of work, but white employers either ignored him or humiliated him. And when he did find jobs, they were underpaid, unstable, and steeped in verbal abuse. On buses, he had to sit in the back. He watched as black passengers were scolded, dismissed, or stared down by white riders. Once, when he tried to offer his seat to a white woman out of habit, he was sharply rebuked by fellow
Oh,
black passengers. It was too dangerous to break the unspoken rules. One of the most haunting parts of Griffin's experience was what he called the hate stare. It was not a glare of anger, it was cold, burning hatred. The look that says, "You are nothing, you are beneath me." He
boy.
encountered it daily, on sidewalks, in stores, even...
That look, that hate stare that they're talking about, we give a. They had a hate stare on black people. Nowadays, we have a. I don't want to say love stare, but we have a. I'm friendly. We have a. I'm friendly stare. That's how we cross the street. We cross the street and we're like, hey. Or you put on a smile like this. Because if I walk around like this, how I usually would, just being me, I look dangerous. I look like I would hurt somebody. And I don't look like I want to hurt somebody. I don't look like that. There's a difference there. There's something about then and now that something changed. He was getting the hate stares. He understands the feel. And we still get those stares from certain people sometimes. It's usually the older people, but we still get those stares.
from children. There were no words exchanged, just the silent violence of eyes filled with contempt. White women clutched their purses. White men puffed their chests. Clerks ignored him. Cops watched him like a hawk. Griffin wasn't just seeing racism.
I'm gonna stop it every single time, and I'm gonna draw some relatabilities. I remember when I went to the South for school, and I was blatant racism. That was the first time. I mean, they're regular, but like no one calls you the N word. I was in the South, and they were just being openly, and that shit is crazy. But oftentimes I'm in LA. All right, brother. I'm in LA. And usually, it's regular. You walk around, niggas lock their cars in front of you. You hear that? That happened one time in front of me and my girl, and I told her. And we both just looked at the car. It was some lady. It was like, nobody. I'm coming out of a gas station. I just walked in, put some money in for a car, for some gas, walked out. She locked the thing. No one is doing anything to you, man. I'm at a gas station. But the area I was in was towards the valley. Like I was leaving. I think I was leaving Six Flags. So
He was feeling it, living it, and it nearly broke him. If you're finding this story as shocking, emotional, and important as we do, go ahead and hit that like button.
go ahead and like the
And if
video,
you want
man.
more deep dives into hidden history, subscribe to Aggressive Intelligence. We're bringing the stories school forgot to teach. Griffin found tremendous compassion and solidarity among black Southerners. In small towns, people offered him water, food, or simply a safe place to rest. Others whispered to him which roads to avoid, which stores would serve him, and which towns could get him killed. Their kindness, he wrote, was all the more heartbreaking because they had so little to give, and yet they gave it without question. These moments sustained him. They reminded him that amidst the cruelty of systemic racism, there was dignity and grace in the black community that white America never saw. Did anyone figure out Griffin was white? Yes, a few did. A black shoe shiner in New Orleans saw through him almost immediately and whispered, "You ain't no Negro, but I know what you're doing. Thank you." Another time, a white man in a restroom stared too long, sensing something was off. But Griffin stayed calm and moved on. Most white people never suspected a thing. They assumed he was just another black man to ignore or harass.
Yeah, because as a white person, you really don't know. It's just you're black, light skinned. I don't know what you're mixed with, but it got some nigger in it, right? That's usually how it goes, right? As a black person, I can look around and say, you look kind of odd. You're a different type of, and you start questioning, are you like me? Are you not like me? Now, I'm not white. I don't know white people look at other white people and say, hey, are you white? Like, are you relatable to me? Do I see you as similar to me? But I could tell you as a black person, you look around, you walk in a room, and if you have to do almost like in school, you have to do an icebreaker. you talk or you see somebody up there that's similar to you in a room that's fully different than you kind of gravitate towards that person. But before gravitating, you kind of have to identify, are they like me? I don't know if white people do. I think white people just go about it. I think it was something that was like brought up culturally. That's kind of what we were taught without being taught. That's just kind of what you look for. That's kind of how it evolved into. I don't think that white people do that necessarily because they never had to do that. They just live their life. That's what I think. And on top of that, how are you not getting caught? Isn't he not walking around with a cameraman like this? I was like, why are they recording this black guy? And this black guy looks kind of odd. Maybe he's not black. I don't know. That's what I think. I think that's what I will be saying.
That, Griffin said, was the most painful truth of all. He realized he could opt out of this life. Real black Americans could not. As the days wore on, Griffin grew physically ill and emotionally wrecked. He lost weight. He couldn't sleep. He became depressed and paranoid. Every step he took felt dangerous. Every glance could be the prelude to violence. He wrote, "I found myself exhausted by the need to always be alert, to always know where danger might come from next. I lived with fear like a coat I couldn't take off." He ended the experiment after 6 weeks, not because he was done,
6
but
weeks?
because he was undone. When Black Like Me was published in 1961, it became a bestseller and a lightning rod. Many white readers were shocked. They said they had no idea life for black Americans was so degrading. Griffin was both praised and vilified. In his hometown of Mansfield, Texas, he was hung in effigy, received death threats, and was forced to flee with his family to Mexico for a time. His home was vandalized. His phone rang with threats. His name was cursed in southern newspapers, but he didn't stop. Griffin began touring the country, giving lectures, speaking at civil rights events, and joining the broader movement for justice. Griffin died in 1980, but his book remains a landmark. Black
I
Like
low-key
Me
want to
is
go
taught in
and
schools,
watch this,
universities, and racial justice
the
courses
actual,
across the globe.
or
It's
read
been
the book,
translated into multiple languages
or
and
watch the
adapted
movie
into a
based on the book.
1964 film starring James Whitmore. But it's not just about the book. It's about the boldness of the experiment, the power of lived experience, and the willingness of one man to put his body on the line to expose a truth most people wanted to avoid. Griffin never claimed to know what it meant to be black in America, but he knew what it meant to be treated like one, and that changed him forever. John Howard Griffin didn't need to march with a sign or shout through a megaphone. He simply stepped into someone else's world and came back with a mirror America couldn't ignore. If you found this story powerful, give this video a thumbs up and share it.
Yeah, man, that's probably gonna be the end of this video. I find it crazy that you can literally sit here and say I did something with my own presence of putting my body in a different environment, and I tell you how it is, and go back and tell other people how it is. And with that, you would think after all of this, basically what I'm trying to say is you would think after all of this, the what am I trying to say? The black people would be mad, but nah. The white people are mad at him for giving the black people mercy. And I know at the beginning of the video, I said, don't let the white people or don't let the black people find out, because they got the stare that they have, the perception of the white people, they probably hate them. But you gotta remember, not everybody's like that. And being in the black community, you can tell that there's a lot of people who wanted the love more than the hate. They're lovers, not fighters, a lot of them. And this, in his experience, from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, seems like he was encountered by a lot of lovers, not fighters. A lot of lovers, not haters. And I was wrong. I thought, oh yeah, I see he's white. Oh yeah, they got this white guy dressed up to be black, or that's blackface or whatever. But one guy literally, he said the shoe shiner saw him and was like, I appreciate what you're doing, or whatever. So it's like, that's crazy. But then the white people will hear the exact same thing and be like, why the fuck did you do that? This nigga, this guy's weird. Why are you trying to be like them? Why are you trying to tell us the sympathy story for them? You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. Other than that, this was a really good video, a lot of insight. I actually want to watch this movie, the one that's adopted on the actual documentary or the what's it called of this, and you can watch the rest of the video link down below in the description. That'll do it for this video. Appreciate y'all for watching. Peace.